sister girl on films. You don't wanna miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And as you can tell by the title, I will be reviewing Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe origin story. Yeah. So if you're interested in my thoughts on this film, then stay right there. We're going to get right into this review. So Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe origin story, is the origin story of a very popular character by the name of Snake Eyes. I mean, the title of the film is very telling of what it's about. And so if you're not familiar with G.I. Joe, chances are you're probably more Gen Z than a millennial. I grew up, I had a couple of G.I. Joe action figures, honey. They were the thing to have. And although the G.I. Joe franchise, I guess you want to call it that, started out as a comic book back in the I believe it was like the early 1940s, and then was reintroduced back in the 60s, and then reintroduced again via action figures and the cartoon and a new comic book series in the 80s. It is not as popular with younger generations, I feel like. So I'm not quite sure why they decided to make this film. I'm not sure who was asking for the Snake Eyes origin story, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So Snake Eyes is played by Henry Golden, and like I said, it is the origin story of Snake Eyes. So the story, honestly, is really almost like a revenge kind of double agent type story, where we see that Snake Eyes, his origins, he really didn't initially start out as a hero, and he has more of a villainous background story. And it really goes through like all the things that he had to kind of go through, some of the duplicitous behavior that he was a part of that sculpted him and turned him into the character that we eventually knew as Snake Eyes. That's about as good as I can get y'all with the origin story, and without really spoiling anything for you if you plan to check this out. So some of the positives, I did like the performances, I will say that. I think Henry Golden was a really good Snake Eyes. In terms of his physique, was a really good casting choice for Snake Eyes, because and unless all the other actors were like super short, Henry looked like he was pretty tall. I didn't look up his height, but in terms of his stature, he seemed to be a very tall, lean man. Really looked good in the Snake Eyes outfit once we got to see that. So I can see how he was casted for it. I don't really think we got to really see the personality of Snake Eyes, because if my memory serves me correct, it's been a long time since I watched the cartoon. I don't remember Snake Eyes having a whole lot of personality. I don't. So again, this is why I'm confused as to why we got a Snake Eyes movie. And let me know in the comments below. I know some of y'all just love to give y'all opinion. But let me know in the comments below if you recall in the cartoon series if Snake Eyes had like this amazing personality that needed to be brought to the big screen. I could be wrong, but I don't remember that. Anyway, so this movie also starred Andrew Koji. He played Tommy, who at the end will get a reveal of who he will be in future films if we get more of this G.I. Joe universe. But also too, if you saw the trailer, then you know who he is, because the trailer ruined a lot of this movie. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, y'all. Okay. We also had Hanaka Abe. She played Akiko, who was part of Tommy's family clan and is like a badass fighter. And then we have my boy Iko Uwais. Honey, I learned how to pronounce his name. So he was in The Raid. He was in Mile 22. He was in The Raid 2. I absolutely love him. He is an Indonesian actor, and ever since I saw him in The Raid, the first one, I tried to find a few of the movies that he was in, and he's just, as far as like him being a good actor, he's a good actor. His ability to do stunts is amazing. He's an amazing fighter. I just adore him, and I just want him to be in more movies. I need him in more. And then we also have Samara Weaving, who does a cameo as a popular G.I. Joe character, which I'm not going to spoil because I feel like it's supposed to be a surprise reveal. But again, if you are not familiar with the G.I. Joe characters, the reveal kind of falls flat and you're like, who? Oh, okay, I guess. But I'm supposed to be talking about what I liked about this movie, y'all. Okay, I'm trying, okay? So, what did I say so far? I said that Henry, he was a good pick for Snake Eyes. I'm not editing none of this out, y'all. So, y'all won't get my ramblings. I also love the fact that Iko Uwais was in this because I just adore him. Some of the fight choreography was good when we could see it. We'll get to that in a little bit. And I will say there were shots of Tokyo, like the opening shot, that it was kind of like a fast, like a sped up shot of it. But I thought that there was like an overhead drone shot, and then it was kind of like the landscape of it. I thought that was really cool to see because even though we've seen Tokyo in a lot of films, it was just, they kind of took a unique approach to it. And even some of the shots at night that they showed of Tokyo, I thought were really cool. And it really kind of highlighted the vibrancy of Tokyo. Although some of the set pieces looked very much like they were on a soundstage, and I'm sure they were. But anyway, so let me go ahead and just get to what I didn't like about this film, y'all, because I am grasping at straws trying to tell y'all what I liked about it. And I'm tired of it. So, y'all, like I said in the beginning, I don't know who asked for this film. Please raise your hand if you were looking forward to a Snake Eyes origin story. Just raise your hand. Okay. Nobody asked for this. And I get it that with the success of the Marvel Universe and even the popularity and success of the DC Universe, a lot of these other comic book franchises and a lot of these other studios want to create their own universe and have that same monetary success. I understand that and I get that. Y'all forget the studio, but y'all remember when that Mummy movie came out with Tom Cruise a few years ago, and it was trash, and it was also to start the Dark Universe, and it's supposed to have an Invisible Man, the Mummy, Dracula, Wolfman, all of that, and then Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde was like the Thanos of the universe, and then nothing came of that. Like, we don't need a universe for every damn fictional character. We just don't. As somebody who was a fan as a child, this just did not do it for me. The movie was kind of boring because it was heavy in exposition, because they had to explain what the hell was going on, because if you're not familiar with these characters, you don't know who Snake Eyes is. You don't know who Cobra is. Like, who's Cobra? They explained who Cobra was and were heavy-handed with, this is Cobra. Cobra's behind this. It's Cobra. Cobra is this, and had to explain who Cobra was. And a franchise that's popular, that people are very much aware of, the film shouldn't have to be heavy with exposition to explain who central, important, pivotal characters are. Like, I'm pretty sure in none of the Superman movies was there ever like here's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is blah, blah. I gave a whole biography of him. No, they was just like, here's Lex Luthor, and people know who that is. So just all the exposition in the film really was a turn off for me, because I'm like, if we have to go to this extreme to explain who these characters are and why they're important, why are we making this movie? And then on the point of the action scenes, so there's a lot of shaky cam in this film. And if you're not familiar with shaky cam, it is what it says, and also too. That's what shaky cam is, though. So imagine you're trying to watch an action film with somebody as amazing as Iko Uwais in it, and his action scenes are like Little Kim sped up. It is a mess. And not only was it a lot of shaky cam, but also there would be a really good fight scene going on, a lot of great combat scenes, use of weapons, all of that. And then the camera would start to focus on a character just standing, and then it would go back to the fight scene, and then it's over. It's one character, two characters standing around a pile of bodies. What? Oh my God. It happened almost every single fight scene. We never got one good, long, single shot fight scene where you like, damn, Snake Eyes is jacking people up, or Tommy is jacking people up, or Akiko is that chick. No, we didn't, because they wanted to focus on a random character just standing and looking at the fight, and then run off and then go back to the fight being over. Oh my God. It was so annoying. And then another thing that really bothered me, and it's just a small thing, but Tommy ended up getting an injury on his face. He ended up getting like a scar. And at one point, the scar was like, pretty much like vertical right here. And then another scene, it was like at a diagonal right here. And then there were other points where it was like flesh color. Other parts, it was red, like it was fresh, all over the place. So I don't know if when they were shooting the shots and then they edited it all together, they didn't really put that into consideration, or maybe I was tripping. Maybe it was always in the same spot every time, but I swear, y'all remember in in Austin Powers when Dr. Evil, his scar kept changing, and Scotty pointed it out, and he was like, wasn't it on the other side? Like, hilarious. And that's what I thought of. I was like, this is like Dr. Evil's scar. Like, it keeps moving. It's not in the same place. Or was that the guy with the mole? I don't know. It was in one of the Austin Powers movies. But anyway, just that continuity error just bothered the hell out of me. And overall, this was just a very like generic martial arts film, action film. And I just really feel like we didn't ask for this. It didn't do anything to make me feel like, damn, oh my God, I am so excited that they are bringing us possibly a G.I. Joe universe that are centered around these characters. I'm so excited. No, it didn't. It didn't. And if we're going to start off a brand new universe, why would you start with Snake Eyes? Why wouldn't you start it with G.I. Joe? Yeah, I don't know. But overall, I just did not enjoy this film. I was looking forward to it because the trailer seemed like it was good until you see the movie and you realize that the trailer ruined everything and just gave the entire movie away. And all the best fight scenes are literally in the trailer. Oh, if that tells you anything. So y'all, I hate to say it because I feel like all of my last few movie reviews have been like bad. But I feel like studios are just like dumping all their shit that they had on the shelf because of the pandemic and quarantine, and they're just dumping them on us. So some of these films that probably would have came out like in January, and y'all know January is usually the film dump, we're just kind of getting them sporadically throughout the year. And this is one that probably would have been released in January because it just was not it. So I do not recommend you go check out Snake Eyes. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I do not recommend this film. So let me know in the comments below if you checked out Snake Eyes. If you loved it, just let me know why. If you did not love it, let me know why. If you don't want to check it out, I completely understand. And more importantly, let me know how you feel about all these different movie studios trying to bring us these different universes. Like, we're not asking for this, but they keep trying to just shove it down our throats. I don't want it. Stop force feeding me universes. I don't want it. Just make a film, make it a good film. And if there needs to be a sequel or a follow-up or a movie connected to it, then so be it. But come on, studio, stop with the universes. So as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see y'all next time for something else. Hopefully I'll have a good movie review next time I see y'all. So thank y'all so much for your support, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Holla.
Hey, sister girl on films. Hey.